Hi guys, it's Blackie for Shaman Spores Woodscraft. Well, those signs have been propping up all over my beloved South for the last, I'd say, 2 years. Never saw them when I was a kid because alligators were so few and far between. Oh, they were here, but they were endangered. So therefore, most of what I learned about alligators, I learned from my grandfather and my uncles and things who had spent a lot of time in the woods when they were boys, when you could still find alligators. But apparently during the Great Depression they ate them up. It was a bad time in the South, and there were a lot of poor people who, if it was walking, talking, or crawling, it got ate. And so alligators were considered a nuisance and a danger. And so whenever possible they were harvested for food. Now back during the 70s, you know, with alligators being endangered species and etc., they became really protected. I mean, yes, they'd been protected before, but now they were actively hunting people who went after them. They did everything to protect this animal, to give it a chance. And it's come back. It's come back big down here in the South. So much so that now people going to the rivers see alligators. They go to lakes and ponds, they see alligators. And for the most part, they're going to leave you alone. They're not a horribly aggressive species for the most part, but like any creature on the earth, they have a personality too. And they might be 10 in a row you could walk up and pet, and that one will chase after you. You don't know. Usually they're relatively simple animals, and the basic idea is if it's small, it's food. If it's big, I'm at danger. Kind of like a shark thinks. So for the most part, alligators leave adults alone unless they're protecting a nest, or you're encroaching in their environment and for some reason they're being territorial, or you're just at the wrong place at the wrong time. So a lot of people are not aware that the world record, let that sink in a second, world record alligator came out of my beloved Alabama a year or so ago, and I'll put a picture up right here. That's a big boy. I've seen 14 footers, I've seen 12, 15, I've seen a ton of 8 and 9 footers. And in fact, a couple of years ago I went down here to just north of Mobile, Alabama, into a big swamp wilderness area and canoed 180 something miles. And we saw a lot of big gators down there. Lake Eufaula between Alabama and Georgia is known for alligators. Martin and Seminole and a lot of these lakes have a large population of gators now. And so you need to be aware of this. Don't be scared, be aware, be intelligent. Alligators, for the most part, will leave us alone. We're too big to worry about as prey. A small dog, yes, that's prey. And they tell you when you go into Okefenokee and stuff like that, do not take a dog with you. That will attract gators because that's edible. That's a small enough size. Likewise, small children are edible, so to speak, because he's doing what he was created to do. And if your child gets in range and it's the right size and he's splashing at the edge, he's going to do what he was created to do. So let's be a little wise in the wood, a little woodsy, and notice, what are you looking for? Well, that sign at this lake tells you that there are probably alligators in this lake. You're probably not going to find them in the big high traffic areas because they prefer to stay away from humans if they can. They prefer bodies of water they're not moving a great deal. They'll go through rivers a lot and they stay in rivers, but they're looking for eddies and places with little or no current so they can sit still on the bottom till the turtle comes by or the big fish comes by or whatever. They're not a run-it-down type predator. They're more of an ambush predator. They like to get to the edge of the water near where other animals come to drink and try to lunge out and grab them. Not like the saltwater croc, but they will come out quickly and try to get something, especially a small deer or a goat, a dog, small child sitting at the edge splashing, or you if you're all scrunched up in a ball playing patty-patty in the water right there cleaning your pots and pans. So look around. They can stay underwater for 30 minutes if they're really shut down, just laying there. So come up to a body of water you're planning on crossing. I got to swim across here. Find the shallowest water you can, because talking to people that's got a lot more experience than me, what they've passed on to me is alligators do not like to tangle anything our size unless it's in really deep water, where they can grab it, pull it under, spin it until it drowns. If you're not in deep water, you're too big a risk that I'm going to get a foot on the bottom and attack the gator, so to speak. So from the gator's point of view, he wants deep water, so I need to look for shallow water to cross. Second thing is, come to the edge of the water, sit down, relax a minute, and look for them eyes to pop up. He can't stay under forever. He's not a water breather. He has to come up and get air. So just sit back and watch. Really watch the surface. And notice, okay, there's a stump, there's a whatever, and if suddenly a new one pops up, aha. If nothing shows up after, say, 10 or 15 minutes, you're probably okay to cross it right there. Don't make a lot of splashing, just ease in and go gently across the bottom. A nice big walking stick is very handy to keep in front of you as well, so if something lunges forward, it's that. I know this is kind of a hit and miss overview, guys, but to be honest with you, I have some experience. I've canoed around them, I've swam with them, I've been 10 feet from one several times. There was one at a lake that I frequented a lot fishing. We named her Susie. And Susie would pull up 5 feet from my boat and sit there, and I'd take in my rod and scratch her back for her while she was laying in the sun. She was a relatively tame animal. Then again, I have been in the water, crossing before, and a big one boil off of a bank. And it was I was glad I didn't have on Fruit of the Looms at that moment, I'll say that. I got out of the water. I didn't know if he was aggressive toward me or just spooked. You don't know. So, stay in shallow water if you got to cross or go over. Don't go up to dark water you can't see into, especially if it drops off deep there, because he may be laying there waiting for something to come up for a free meal. And if you do have to cross, find some place that's shallow and don't make a lot of splashing. And if you want to go in and swim, that's fine. Just ease in, get wet, do what you got to do, and ease out. Splashing is what attracts them, because that means something is struggling. So don't be mimicking a prey. You ever notice a deer going across? Whoopa, 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 whoopa. They jump in the water and they run across as fast as they can. That generates a lot of disturbance, and that would attract them. Hope this helps, guys. I'm Blackie for Shaman's Forge Woodscraft, saying safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.